The time has come, guys. April 20th marks the day Battles Steam is officially released. Who knew it would have came so fast? So let's just jump right in and see all there is new to it. Oh, never mind. I knew it was too good to be true if they were going to release it so soon. Well, back to BlueStacks and Windows 10, I guess. So the BlueStacks version it is, and the reason for playing it on here is because we are double dipping into the hacker pool once again with hopes of getting into a game with one. That just happened, I guess. Stupid BlueStacks froze on me and that costed me a permanent loss on my record. 2, actually, because just a minute before this recording I had the exact same thing happen to me. I suppose that's what happens when you haven't even opened the emulator for months. Not that I actually care about the record on this account though, as it's purely just to see what the hacker pool consists of, at least now it is. I also got a bunch of losses tagged on during the release of patch 3.4 when private matches automatically gave you losses, but I didn't give a shit about the bug because I ain't gonna wait to play that shit. So anyways, we finally got into a game with a hacker. However, I'm pretty sure it's just the medallions he hacked, otherwise he wouldn't have such a terrible win-loss record. And yes, this is R3 Bonanza, because I legit cannot find a single match in any other arena. Ridiculous, isn't it? But it makes sense since I'm gonna estimate that probably 2% of our current players are in the hacker pool, so if I look for a match in an arena with only 100 players, I probably won't find one for a really long while. Meanwhile, R3 Bonanza's got 2,000 players, and it still took me about 15 seconds to get a match with this guy. Long queue times is when you know you're in the pool, guys. As well as the leaderboard not showing up. So back to what I was talking about earlier in Steam. While I was a little disappointed there wasn't anything new in this version, I shouldn't have expected any different since they're likely just trying to expand to different platforms while having the same game on all of them. Think of it like the Windows 10 version. Nobody bats an eye about it unless they plan to use that as their primary platform. Here's to hoping the game gets a spike in popularity after this. I'm sure there will be at least a few people who discover the game because it's featured on the new releases. While I'm on the topic of expanding the player base, I just want to clarify about the small vocal minority who believe I think that Molten Off are the worst humans on the entire planet and that they should be gunned down on the streets like the... Never mind, I made that reference before. But no, this is not the case, guys. Whether you like it or not, these are the people who are actually keeping the game afloat by drawing in new players. So it's kind of a double-edged sword in that you get a bunch of new players at the cost of them being complete noob cakes, or you have something like Battles Flash where there aren't many players left, but the ones that have stuck around have been there for a while. And to add on, I know nothing about them in real life, so I can't say with certainty that these guys are a bunch of grade A douchebags in real life. Make what you will of their persona online. Just want to get that out of the way, you know. Before the atmosphere gets too serious here, I'll lighten up the mood a bit with a good old lame joke. What did the human say to the other human? I am a human. Now what did the dog say to the other dog? I am a dog. And what did the lizard say to the other lizard? Kill yourself. Yeah, definitely not my proudest joke there. So let's spend the rest of this time answering some questions that I got. This first one is by email, which I really don't get much of, and whoever asked this question, I'm sorry to leave you hanging with no response. I was just lazy and felt like saying it right now instead of having to do it twice. Anyways, the question asks what YouTube network I'm a part of and whether I recommend it. I'm with TGN, but the reason I partnered with them is because I ran into problems in the past with Google and AdSense. So I made the switch over. To answer your other question, at your channel size your best bet is just to stick with YouTube for now, because every network takes a cut of your revenue. I could probably go into more detail, but I think that's all the information you'll need. Appreciate the question though. Next question, or should I just say statement. comes from my previous video where I explained the bare bones of the dart, farm and chipper strategy. Well, clearly I haven't caught up to speed the latest mobile COF strategies because nobody uses the chipper anymore, ever since the nerf to the 0-0 chipper, which can't suck in ceramic balloons anymore, as well as only sucking in ZOMGs for a quarter of the time, making round 22 rushes hard as hell to beat. Makes sense, I suppose. I'll keep that in mind next time. I was already using Ace for circular maps like Swamp and Yin Yang, so now it looks like I'll be seeing more of that shit in my future Battle Arena games. And lastly, Ramdy asks if Darkling Farm and Dart is a viable strategy. I know Ray of Dooms are pretty good now and all, but frankly they don't offer much before then because they're way too expensive for the par they bring. Say around 22 rush for example, for the cost of a ground zero you can only get 2 laser cannons or 2 Hydra rocket darklings out, and which one would you choose in this situation? So if you want a late game tower, your best bet is probably the Super Monkey instead. I also forgot to mention it's a pain in the ass aiming your dartlings sometimes. Okay, so this will mark the end of the video. Unfortunately we were unable to face a hacker in this segment, but on the bright side I whopped this little medallion hacker kid's ass with back-to-back round 13 combo rushes. Some people never learn. Remember, if you enjoyed, smash that like button, and don't forget to sub for more. Have a steaming day.